All right.
All right.
We're officially recording.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need a prayer cloth?
Why would I need a prayer cloth?
Do you know what a prayer cloth is?
Yes, but why would I need one?
I don't know. I don't just want to make sure you're comfortable in front of the camera with the short skirt. I don't want any wardrobe malfunctions or
Well, I think I'll just cross my legs.
this turning into a different kind of podcast.
Attire. Your attention to attire is just always persistent.
It's for you though. It's not for me.
Well, it's so hot out.
I hear you.
I took a very long time to find a dress that I could wear in the heat.
Okay. Do you not wear shorts? Or that's weird?
The shorts would probably be worse.
That's true. But you don't need a prayer cloth. You feel okay?
I don't know anymore.
Okay. No, you're fine.
I don't know. Now you choose to tell me this.
Yeah. As soon as I saw you, I was like, this is the first thing I'm going to say on the pod.
And now I see your strategy.
There's no strategy.
Like, was he mad at me? No, you just want to save everything for this moment. You bombard me.
Is he mad at me? Are you not a morning person, Jared? No.
Do you drink coffee?
Oh my God.
I was so thrown off.
Are you serious right now?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what did I do to Jared in
ridiculous.
the last week? But be positive and sunshine.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
The J and Dre. Okay.
Okay, but you keep putting J and Drea. You need to choose.
You put J and Drea.
Before I invest in this neon light.
You said Drea.
But J and Dre sounds so compact.
I still read Drea as Dre. That's wrong, but I still read it as that. But you can go by that. Do you go by Dre? Who calls you Dre?
Lisette calls me Dre.
She would.
Jenny, Rocio. And then there's all my friends.
Okay, so just the people that
I interact with every day.
You can call and lie if I ever needed to confirm.
They call me Drea, Dre.
None of these are Dre.
But they call me Dre as
short
well.
for Andre.
They call me Dre as well.
Okay. I mean, it's your name.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't appreciate how you said that we were unlikely friends.
Why?
I don't think it's unlikely.
You said that. I got that from you.
When did I ever say that?
You're like, isn't it weird that we're friends? Like, isn't it like, aren't we like a surprising pair? You said that.
I did say that?
You did say that.
I'll believe you. That sounds like something I would say.
Okay.
I'll believe you.
It's so weird that we're friends, right? Like, who would have thunk it? You didn't say who would have thunk it, but like you said something like along those lines.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah.
Do you want to go serious first?
No, I feel like we should go first week reactions to the pod first.
Okay.
Has anyone that you care about listened to the podcast?
Yes. I think so.
You think so? Okay.
Yes, I think my friends.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. They comment, but supportive.
Okay.
Funny. They say things are funny.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Nothing bad.
Okay.
But also, people don't really comment on things. They just see me do things, and they're like, wow, like, that's just happening.
Oh, okay.
Because it just popped up, and I don't really warn people.
Okay. So something that's probably going to happen, hopefully, it might happen. I don't know who listens or who in your life will talk to you about the podcast after listening, but you're gonna run into something called repotting.
Okay, what is that?
So right now we're podding, we're recording a podcast, but people are gonna listen to the podcast and then they're gonna call you and they're gonna want to repod on the phone with you. And they'll be like, oh, when you said this, like, oh my God, when you said that, and he said that, and they said that, and you said this, what does it mean by that? Like, are you serious? Like, who is this guy? And it was just like, there was a lot of that. I found myself repotting a couple times.
Really?
Yeah. For sure.
On what topic specifically?
Oh man, not so much the topics, but people were just praising my patience with you.
Stop! What?
Because of how you like jump on the end of sentences and it was a lot of it was just really interesting to see you work. You know, it was good. I was like, you know, just the food conversation and how, you know, questions were asked but not really answered. But
I think I
yeah,
agree
I'm so excited.
with you.
I'm so excited.
You're so excited.
So excited.
So happy.
But yeah, not trying to do a lot of repotting. But yeah, people seemed interested. There were some people who, you know, wanted to know who you were, and I was just like a weirdo, honestly.
What?
You know, twice divorced, 5 kids, just issues. You know,
Those are not issues. Those are blessings. 2 people decided that they wanted to spend the rest of their life with me,
and then not.
And then not. and then not. And that's how life goes sometimes.
Yeah, and listen, I'm no spring chicken, you know, single, no kids. At this age, it's a red flag. Like, it's like no one has wanted to lock you down. Like, but yeah, you know, just.
But I don't think they're issues. I just think it's life.
I hear you.
Like, everyone by our age has something. You should have something or some experience, or else the conversation's a little dull.
You're right. But on the relationship playground, like, we're like.
But those are my personal, I guess those are the personal attributes. I've also am a full social worker.
There we go. Yeah, let's get into
business
your specifics. Like, let's get into how awesome you are.
Because
don't you
other
got like a whole bunch of certifications and stuff? You're like you're a pretty book smart person.
I really am.
Yeah.
I have a master's in social work.
Okay.
I'm a licensed clinical social worker.
Okay.
I have my own practice. During the day, I work in corporate healthcare, so I work in nursing homes.
Nice.
What else? I'm trained in brain spotting, which is a somatic intervention. I have 2 levels of that training.
Okay.
I work with people who have OCD, neurodivergence.
Okay. Is that like the hair club for men thing? Like, I'm not only I'm not only a client, I'm the president type of thing?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because that's how I'm a personal trainer. Like, I was fat, and then I got myself together, and it inspired me to get others together. Certified personal trainer here. So, like,
I would say that
crazy helping crazy.
No, I would say that actually Jenny, which is a close friend of mine that you know from high school.
Yes.
She was a therapist, and she was very inspiring. She started her practice, and so when I was looking into master's programs, I wanted a professional license of some sort, because that to me would have a better financial payout for what I was investing in. And so it was between law and social work. Okay. And I had kids at the time, and I worked full time, and I had all the things going on. So I didn't think I didn't think that I could dedicate the time I needed to law school to do it properly. So I figured I could get my degree in social work.
Wow. It's amazing.
Thank you.
That is a important story.
I don't think you care.
Why? That's why I asked.
But that's why I'm saying the personal it's part of you, but it's not all of you.
It's true. Work-life balance.
I don't think there's much balance right now, but I'm trying to get more balance.
Oh, let's talk about that. Why isn't there any more balance?
Because I work so much.
Oh, why do you work so much?
Because I want money.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Are you getting the money that you want?
Yeah. I'm really proud of where I've landed so far.
Nice.
It's a lot of hard work, but it is what it is.
How do you find juggling, such a rigorous work schedule with your, with how important being a mom and an active mom is to you? Because I know that's an important part of your life as well.
It is, but there's so many other parents at this point.
What do you mean by that?
They have their fathers, and then they have grandparents, and then they have additional grandparents because I remarried. So they have, there's a lot of support.
The whole village thing.
There is.
Nice.
And there's always been. Because I wouldn't have been able to get the degree if I didn't have Hector's mother. She took care of the children while I was getting my degrees. And she was really helpful.
That's great.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have been able to pursue a lot of things if I didn't have help.
Help.
No. I mean, I think
I need somebody. Help.
But I think that's the beautiful part of...
Not just anybody. I'm sorry. We can't get that clear. Go ahead. That's the Beatles.
Yeah, you're never going to get that cleared.
Yeah.
But I think that's the beautiful part of communities of color. There's a lot of intergenerational caregiving.
Yes.
I like that.
It's great. Me too.
Because I wouldn't have been able to afford daycare, and there's a threshold between where people are impoverished and working where things just become impossible to afford.
That's a fact.
And then children, I had a lot.
It's an inspiring story. I hope one day we can get it made into like some kind of movie. If you were to have a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
I have no clue.
Really?
Who would you think could play me?
I don't know.
I don't know who would play you.
I would be in the story. I would be in the movie of your life.
Well, at this point.
Oh. Maybe I just walked through in the back. Like real
You were
quick,
at
like,
baby showers. You were at...
I was at a baby shower.
Jared.
I was at the baby shower.
Why do you act like...
I forgot about that. I'm sorry. You had a bunch of kids. What kid was that for?
Do you remember do you remember the last time that we filmed when you were like, you don't have to make up parts of our relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not making them up. I
you just forgot them.
Oh, no. But that part you is tripping.
No.
I thought about that more. I was like, if there was any class that I didn't need to copy. First off, all respect due, I only copied homework from one person through all of high school. And I'm not saying I copied their person's homework all of high school. I'm saying through all of my high school, I only copied homework from one person.
Okay.
That was Jeremy Harris, geography, second sophomore year? Or maybe it was junior year when we were back in the main Jones building. I can't remember. But it was him. I didn't have to copy homework from people. I was one of those rare people who, if I could just participate in class, I can get a grade. I'll do a little homework and I won't fail the test, but I'll be fine. So yeah.
I see how you remember and recall.
Yeah.
Distorted.
And unlike any of the other friends of yours that I know or got close with, I didn't get close with any of them. But I know Lisette because she dated Jeremy. In high school, you always dated guys that were older than us.
Oh, I have no memory of any of this.
Okay, well now who don't remember stuff. So I get it. I totally get it.
Gone.
We reserve the right to create the past that we want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no clue what you're speaking of.
Facts. Do you want to get into the topics?
Yeah.
Let's get into the topics.
Wherever you would like to start.
Jay and Dre, full talking points and cultural breakdown. We can start from the top, I guess. U.S.-Iran conflict, war, spin, and spectacle.
I mean, that's intense.
Yeah.
Because also, it just happened last night. So
yes.
The United States decided to get in the conflict. I don't know what we would call it.
It's a war. I don't know why people are trying to put saucy words on it. It's a war. And
they struck?
Yeah, they did an airstrike.
Iran.
Yeah.
And that's where we are because of the nuclear war stuff. The nuclear, what do they call them?
Silos? Or
who knows?
Where they hold nuclear weapons?
So I guess it's just intense.
Yeah.
Everything that's been going on. All of it.
Hold on. I'm just reading this. The U.S. launched what I do feel comfortable doing is reading out loud. So where'd you get this information from? Who can I read this? What is this?
This is between the internet, AI, everything.
Okay. June 22nd, 2025, U.S. launched airstrikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. We don't need to name them. Using B-2 bombers and bunker-busting munitions. Iran retaliated with missile fire targeting Israeli cities. Sparking fears of broader Middle East escalation. Western media framed the strikes as surgical and defensive. Middle Eastern outlets accuse the U.S. of imperialism and strategic destabilization. Social media commentary has ranged from patriotic fervor to deep unease, with Gen Z users expressing both humor and horror. Cultural reflection. American apathy toward global war often arises from filtered narratives, desensitization, and distance.
U.S. politics just have been so up and down. I just don't know where to land on anything, and I feel like...
Have they been up and down?
So bad.
Really? Because
down?
as far as what this is concerning, it's been pretty...
Down.
Down is a way to put it if you want, but it's been pretty consistent. Like, when has the U.S. ever not...
bombed something?
I don't want to say bombed, more specifically bombed or acted...
We are.
In connection to or in defense of certain countries.
Yes, that's what we do.
Right, but specifically some we make sure to make our intentions known, and depending on the president, we'll decide how fervently we show our allegiance or our partnership with certain countries.
And it's going to boil down to money and investments, because that's what it all boils down to.
Yes, yeah, it does. But
and it's sad.
The whole like religious aspect of it, or like the religious tie into it, it's always so weird when like when you can like see money,
but it's not
in politics and in religion. With this country specifically, it is.
Do you think it'll...
And then all that stuff over there stems from like really old religious stuff, which is why it's weird that we even get involved.
It really is.
Like, if we're getting involved, we should be like, hey, no women and children. Let's like help like fortify these certain spots in these countries while y'all figure this out. But some of it is also military placement, and I think that's why a lot of, when we say like, oh, it's religion, yeah, I think it's shrouded in religion. But just like for instance, when it comes to nuclear war placement, or nuclear placements, site placements. There you go. The reason that we, for instance, historically needed Puerto Rico was because of its strategic placement in the sea. And I think that's something to do with that grounds in Palestine/Israel, that whole area. They all right next to each other.
But that specific placement, I think, has some kind of meaning. And I wish I was more well-read on this, but this is what I remember from learning about this stuff.
I guess. And do we have nukes on Puerto Rico because of where it's placed, or just so that when they retaliate, it's not really on U.S. soil?
No, I think it's because specifically the placement and the way that the ports are set up, and it's very important. There's certain places in the sea that historically have very important military, I guess, they're important geographically for the military.
And you think Puerto Rico is one of them?
I know it was one of them.
Okay. I would need more information on that, because I don't know what you could set up at this point in military intelligence.
Well, at this point now, it becomes like a very strategic game of spades, because it's like they count how many nukes that every country has and where they are in making them, and there's like this whole global discussion. And so based on the amount, that's how much power you have globally to, like, I guess, force people to do things. Hence where we are.
Okay.
So that's their whole argument, is that they don't want Iran to have any nukes. That they don't want Iran to have any nukes or any capability to make nukes.
Because they think they would use them irresponsibly.
Correct. Or
against countries that are right next to them.
Correct. That's their argument. Or against countries in alliance.
But Israel has them. Israel has a bunch of them, right?
Most likely because Israel is part of us. They get a lot of our supplies and stuff.
Right, but they also have, I'm pretty sure they also just have their own.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That would be.
But I would have to look that up. We should get like a map of who has what.
We should. I'd also like to look at where Puerto Rico is on a map in relation to U.S. soil. Because I'm telling you, I feel like they have stuff there so that if things go wrong, they're not attacking U.S. soil. I'd like to know where are America's nukes.
Okay. We should figure that out too.
My phone is recording. Where's your phone?
Behind me.
Do you want to maybe
Mickey.
ask Google real quick?
Okay.
Until we get like a producer that can like talk in and be like, hey guys, so actually all of America's nuclear weapons are located, like when we get a young Jamie or something like that. Do you know who young Jamie is?
No.
Not really. Okay. Don't worry about it. Not important. Or we get a Parks. Parks don't really be Googling that shit either. Who's Parks?
He's the guy from Button. Why is Button?
Yeah. Because I don't want to just be here talking stupid.
In circles?
Mm-mm. That's you. I wouldn't talk in circles unless I got a kidney from you.
Okay. Geostrategic importance of Puerto Rico, position in the Central Caribbean is crucial. My phone did something, sorry. Is crucial for controlling and defending military and economic interests in both the Atlantic and the Latin America. Its location allows the U.S. to project naval power into the Caribbean Sea and beyond, making it a key naval station. Puerto Rico's placement helps protect vital maritime routes, including those that connect the Atlantic Ocean and the Panama Canal.
Okay. Where are America's nukes located?
Oh, a lot of places.
They got one under the Sears Tower?
California.
That would be crazy. If like the top of the Sears Tower just like flipped off and like
China. So there are 5 nuclear states, which are China, France, Soviet Union, United Kingdom, and United States.
Okay.
And then there's 24 different geographical locations, 11 in the U.S., and then others, I guess, elsewhere. And they don't name all of them.
They don't name where they are in the U.S.?
Oh, some in the U.S. are New Mexico, I see one, Montana, Wyoming, Warren Air Force Base, but it doesn't say where, North Dakota.
Okay.
Do you want to see the image?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Prayers to everybody over there, but I don't...
It looked terrible, the different airstrikes.
All that stuff looks terrible.
It's horrible.
I was looking at some picture of Gaza in like 2023 or 20, maybe it's further back than that. But whenever it was like less than 10 years. And that shit looks crazy now.
It's been terrible, and it's been an issue for a very long time that has been neglected, and now we see it at the point of extermination, and it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant to even talk too much about it because I don't want them to like shadow ban the podcast.
You could just cut this out then.
Jeez. I don't want to cut it out. Like, I'm not a political cuck like that. Jesus.
Well, you can cut out some stuff.
Oof.
Maybe the E word.
The E word?
I said extermination.
Oh, no.
You can cut that part out.
It'd be more like never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. We haven't said the J word. That's what's most important. So, okay. Diddy on trial. Woo.
So we haven't talked about that at all.
No, we haven't.
Like, at all.
I'm so worried about it, too.
I don't know what to say. It's just terrible.
I don't know what to say either. What do you want to say? Take that. Let's talk about it only in like Diddy ad-libs.
So from what I understand about federal courts, generally speaking, once you have a case in the federal courts, it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
That's what I understand. On any level, like their success rate is in the 90%.
Yes, but what people don't take into account is a lot of those are like plea deals. Mm-hmm. So like it's not like they're just going in there like Johnny Cochran and just like always winning cases.
Bam, like that.
Yeah, no, a lot of it is like, okay, so you're down for this much, we'll give you this. Like a lot of them is like plea deals and negotiations.
Still,
and
that's
like
still a high percent of wins.
Oh yeah,
A win is a win.
Yeah, I guess. But
I'll take a win.
if you also include that, and then you also include the fact that a lot of times people just don't have the money to like fight a long case on that level, it's just those numbers are somewhat
skewed, you feel?
Yes. Somewhat
You bring up a good point. They don't have the money to fight the case on that level.
Yeah, and that's
that's
an issue across the board.
That is a very good point.
The judicial system. Mm-hmm. You know how many beautiful women being at court without like $200. That's a joke I'm stealing from somebody else, but like it's true. Like if you ever be in traffic court, it's always like a fine ass girl.
You think so?
It's like the judge is like, yeah, your fine is $500. They're like, well, judge, I get paid. He's like, oh, what can you pay? I get paid $25. Like, hey,
I don't know what world you're in.
I'm telling you God's word, not no hustle. I'm telling you real shit right now.
Okay, I believe you.
Whatever. I mean, it's the same thing with dudes. Like, wasn't it some rapper who went to like their local jail and was just like bailing people out with bonds that was like under $500, but they couldn't pay it? Mm-hmm. And he was just like helping people out. Like,
it needs to happen.
Some of those people just happen to be.
Our system is very broken. Oh.
Yeah.
Got it. But.
Have you ever been to a Diddy party?
No.
Oh.
Have you?
Mm-mm.
No. But what he was doing was happening for a very long time.
Yeah, he learned it from somebody. He saw somebody doing it and probably was like, oh, okay, I want to have parties like that too.
Well, he had a rough upbringing.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure he saw a lot in his upbringing, don't you think?
You think he saw freak-offs in his upbringing?
Or worse, we don't know.
Okay.
There's weird things that happen in the world.
Okay. I mean, however rough his upbringing was...
There's no excuse though.
What do you mean?
Like, no matter how rough his upbringing was, you're still accountable for your behavior.
So what'd you bring it up for?
Because you brought up that he saw some stuff.
No, I didn't.
Oh. Then I don't know why I brought it up.
You said that. I was just like, I mean, you asked, he said, you were like,
I think it is a good point,
the stuff he was doing in his parties and stuff was going on before he started it, and I was like, yep, he learned it from somebody.
That's from there, yes.
Right. I'm not saying he learned it from his parents. I'm saying he learned it from people in the industry.
Got it. I misunderstood them. That's why I brought it up.
No.
But I do think he possibly learned some stuff from what we understand about his family. His family.
What do we understand about his family?
I don't know. Not specifically.
Okay. Because as far as I know, his dad was a hustler, which at that point was very common.
Got it.
And I mean, he's in New York, so he went to like New York schools. But he went to Howard. He went to college at Howard. I don't know how many years he went, but at some point there was enough structure or enough forethought for him to get to college from New York. I mean, Howard, or was it? I think it was Howard.
I think it was Howard.
Yeah, so he was at Howard. He was throwing parties at Howard, even with that like weird mouth teeth situation he had back then. So like, he was a backup dancer in a couple videos and shit. Like, So
Who knows
possibly
where he learned
the
it
examples of what money can afford you or what power can afford you, that'd probably be an interesting thing to like track. But I mean, he was doing that, then he was interning for Andre Harrell. So maybe there are some questions about the type of shit Andre Harrell was up to or whatever. He's dead at this point. I don't want to put any smut on his name. But
I don't think people care about the smut we put on people's names.
I mean, I consider myself to be a person of a certain cloth, so I'm not going to talk about people in a certain kind of way if they aren't here to defend themselves, or if I don't have, full proof of it.
Regardless, it was very terrible what he was doing.
What was very terrible?
I think the forced behavior of like the coercion, the scaring people into doing things was terrible. If somebody wants to have a freak off, you can have a freak off, obviously, as long as everybody is consenting.
Yeah.
And it seems like not only were the lines blurred, but there was also a lot of financial coercion on multiple levels.
Financial coercion.
Isn't that what the whole RICO case is?
No, it
Racketeering
becomes
and
a
stuff?
RICO case when it is assumed or can be proven that he's using business funds
For illegal.
for illegal activity.
And I think from what I've understood that that's been pretty clear.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be found guilty of
Something.
at the very least like the prostitution stuff. I don't think he's on trial for domestic violence, but like we've all seen that. So like, the court of public opinion is still kind of out on that. But yeah, at this point, it's just like, how long is he going to be in jail? It's quite possible they could find him guilty and just be like, well, do another year and a half and you can be out.
You think so?
I mean, depending on what they're, depending on, I don't know what kind of charges or what kind of time buying prostitutes gets you. Like, we're hearing the story, the crudeness of the stories, but that's not shit that like you can get prosecuted for in jail. Like the hard facts are like, did he bring people across state lines?
Yeah, I think they found that.
How much do we believe Cassie was in a state of not being able to refuse, or whatever you said? What'd you say? Financial coercion?
Financial. Well, like forcing, saying like, I won't pay for this, I won't do this.
Okay.
If you don't do X, Y, Z. I don't know what that's called.
Some could call it a job, but I don't know.
Those are some weird jobs.
Facts. I've done weird things for money.
Not that.
Not that extreme, no, but I'm just saying, like.
Go ahead, elaborate. I don't think no.
I picked up shit for money.
Oh, yeah.
Like shit, like real shit.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Horse shit.
Yeah, that's a common job, though.
Is it?
Yeah, someone has to pick up the shit.
Apparently somebody has to rub the cum on Diddy's nipples.
Oh my goodness.
And
that's a lot.
There's a price for that.
And I wonder
when she stopped liking it?
No, when he felt that this all had to be so secretive.
Probably from the beginning. Anytime you're doing anything that could be seen as gay, if you're in the hip hop or if you're in the hip hop industry, but then even over that in the black community, like anytime you're doing anything gay, like that's gonna come with like negative.
And it's so dangerous.
Whatever.
It's so dangerous internally. It's dangerous emotionally. It's dangerous to society. There have to be better spaces for people to be who they are.
Sure.
Don't you feel like that?
Listen.
It literally eats people inside.
Yeah.
It creates such dark places when people can't express who they are completely.
Yeah, I also think people people think people give a fuck more than they do.
No, I think there's real hate in the world and real dangers.
That's not addressing what I'm saying.
Okay. Explain how I didn't address
I just
what
don't
you
think. You're saying there should be more safe spaces, or I'm assuming for like black men to say they're gay, or people period to say they're gay, or admit that they have proclivities or interests in things. And yeah, that's totally true. I also think that people assume other people care more than they do. So that doesn't mean, I understand that there's hate in the world. There's people who just blindly hate gay people for sure. But I also think that's a smaller percentage of like what people really come in contact with. And I think what people really deal with is thinking that people are going to have a reaction, or thinking that people are going to treat them some drastic, in some way drastically differently than they already do. But like, people really just don't care.
So am I understanding that you believe that there is only a small group of people who care and would act violently in comparison to how many people do not care?
Yeah, like I definitely think there's less people that are like, oh, what, you're gay? Oh, I don't take my kids out of school. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or even like on a lesser level, like just, I don't know, like co-workers, or like, I guess with like friends and family, I can see a little bit more hesitance, or because you know those people more. You know, you might have been somewhere and a gay dude, you know, switched past, and you know your uncle said, oh, look at this fucking whatever. And now you feel like, oh well, I can never tell this nigga anything. But also, I think people, unfortunately, I guess people act differently around different people. So like, just because he made that comment, number one, that doesn't necessarily means he hates them. I think there's a level of flippant conversation or flippant comments that that used to be far more common, and people were like way more comfortable to just kind of say shit. But like, I don't think that would like negate. I don't think that would like definitely mean he wouldn't like clean it up in front of you, or like not like purposely disrespect you on your face or whatever.
I do think that that for some places can be true, where there are some safe places for people who are in the LGBTQ plus community. But I also think that there are places that are very not safe.
Sure.
And that outside of those sanctuary places, that there's a lot of people who think otherwise. And I think that it's a very stark contrast.
They think otherwise and would act on it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hate crimes outside of a lot of more culturally diverse places, or places that are more open-minded. I don't know what the right terminology would be. Safe places, I guess. I think we see it in more urban places where there's more acceptance. And then when we get out of those areas, it becomes very conservative and different, and sometimes dangerous.
Yes, I'm not at all saying I agree with what you're saying. I just think that those places are getting smaller, and the people willing to make those kind of acts are getting more concentrated, which means it's getting less of them, but they're also getting more like blatant and like supported by, like, with the internet, with social media, it's easier for these smaller factions to like support each other to make bigger movements.
I hope you're right. I hope that that's what's happening.
Maybe I could be wrong, but like I don't know.
I think that I would like to see. Well, should we look up the numbers?
Sure.
What would I even look up?
I don't know. Percentage of hate crimes in small towns and villages. I mean, I don't know. There's still sundown towns.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to communicate, is that those sounds are very not nice.
You think they would, okay, say you're in a sundown town. You think they would be more tolerant towards black people or gay people?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think either. There has been a 108% increase from 2014 in hate crimes.
I don't even know if we should use your phone. Cause like your phone is already in like a super like left blue algorithm. Like your phone is already.
Why would
like,
Why would I
there's
make that
a hate crime
up?
every time I clap. Brought to you
why
by,
would I make
brought to you
that
by the New York
up?
City New York City
figures-
Institute for Hate.
Hey, it's sad. So they've increased,
Okay.
as I tried to allude to.
All right. I really wish I could use my phone right now. Hey man, ain't nobody hating no more. This is what my phone saying. Ain't nobody hating, bro. No, I wish I had my phone. And then what did you type in? Because I asked you about the U.S. thing, where the
I gave you a list of places, and I was going to show you the
but that
map.
was after you Googled all this Puerto Rico stuff that really didn't like negate what I was saying, because all that
looked
stuff
hate crime
could be done from
percentage.
Florida, but
Hate crime percentage in United States. That's what I typed in. And it said in 2022, reported hate crimes in the U.S. rose to 11,643 at 108% increase from 2014.
okay, but do we remember what was going on in 2022? Like, wasn't that like during COVID and all the riots and shit? Like, what about 2025? Here's what you got.
Okay, I'm going to show you the graph, the bar graph, of it increasing year to year.
Hate crimes are down. No one's hating. Everyone's happy.
That's you.
No.
That's what you are saying.
You want people to eat themselves to death.
Okay, well, it's your internet, but you see the year to year and then it going.
Are you even? You're not even connected to my internet while you try to hate on my internet.
That's the FBI data. Do we trust the FBI?
Where's 2025 though?
I don't know.
And then this is everything. Okay, hold on. This is post 9/11 surge in hate crimes. So those are hate crimes, but we know that those are hate crimes directly towards brown people who appear to be Muslim because of Islamophobia stemming from.
It doesn't have any reasons.
Okay. Looks like your phone isn't accessing the truth. May need to call the Young Turks.
Oh, here we go. We have up until 2023. And every year it's increased.
Okay. I hear you. I just don't know if there's no way to prove that those hate crimes are against gay people.
No, but
Or
okay.
LGBTQ plus community people. Since that year, we've gone through so much. We've gone through Islamic hate. We've gone through Jewish hate. We've gone through Asian hate. There's always the normal level of black hate.
Do you know what that speaks to? How quick the news cycle is. People just forget so quickly what happens.
I guess so. And your phone too. Because your phone's not giving us
You're just mad
nothing.
that it didn't agree with you.
I'm not mad that your phone didn't agree
Every
with you.
time-
I know what kind of phone input you put into your phone. I know what kind of conversations that phone listens to. So I know the kind of information it's going to give you.
You do not.
All right. Okay.
My phone is not.
Okay.
Why are you like this?
All the MSNBC it listens to in the background.
I don't even watch TV.
NPR. Hey guys.
Nope. Don't do
I'm
any of
Robert
that.
Smalls from
No.
NPR.
No.
Today we're talking.
I read a lot. I have a lot of audibles. I listen to a lot of news on like YouTube.
You read a lot. I have a lot of audibles. Are those the same thing?
No, two separate categories.
Okay.
I have books and audibles.
All right.
Sometimes I like to double up and do both at the same time.
That seems unproductive, but okay.
No, it really helps me increase my information retention.
Okay. All right.
Like having a visual input and an audio input. I'm going to need a lot less judgment about that.
There's no judgment. Mm-hmm. Do what you want.
I think we've talked enough about Diddy.
This is hip-hop's overdue reckoning with power, predation, and unchecked egos.
I think you should do that for everything.
Why was it easier to cancel women for bad attitudes than hold powerful men accountable for abuse?
Why?
I don't know if that's necessarily...
Yes, there's way more, I think, scrutiny on women, generally speaking, when they come out and say that they've been victims of anything.
Is that what a bad attitude is? I think the issue is that...
Well, people say, oh, no, they're just mad. That's why they're coming out and saying that. Or they just want money.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they point to situations where it seems more important to get paid for something that happens than to expose or let people know what happened. But I mean, you being a social worker and things, you'd probably be able to speak to, what's the syndrome where you fall in love with your captor?
Stockholm Syndrome?
There you go. You could bring up the Stockholm Syndrome thing. And you can talk about how people, but more specifically women, oftentimes can take years to process events to then be able to safely and find the strength to admit that in those moments they felt unsafe, or they felt blindsided by the actions or the behavior of the other person.
I think you did a great job.
No. I mean, but you've got all the certificates, so you should probably speak to it.
I think you did such a phenomenal job at that.
All right.
That there might not be anything for me to clear up, because you hit all of the nails on the head, including it's the most dangerous time in a relationship between an abuser and the person that they are abusing. Mm-hmm. When the person decides to leave, then the relationship becomes the most dangerous.
It's true.
That's the only thing you left out.
My bad.
Yeah.
You're right.
We gotta throw that in there.
Right. Or when he threatens to stop paying for stuff.
That's financial abuse.
There you go. Yep.
And that's something else.
But that would definitely be included in this, right?
Yes, there was a lot of financial.
Yeah.
There was a lot of financial abuse.
Right, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's very common.
Yeah.
It looks different at different socioeconomic levels.
Facts.
But at every level, it's different.
Have you ever dated a man because he had money?
Nope.
No?
No.
Okay.
Have you ever dated a woman because she had money?
No.
Okay.
No. I've had women stop dating me when my financial situation changed.
That's not nice.
I mean, it kind of is what it is.
In regards of?
In regards of, human instinct, especially for some women, I don't know about you, is to, they prefer situations where they feel, the broadest term would probably be safe. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that
financial safety
can be boiled down to financial safety.
That's interesting.
Or financial, comfort.
Mm-hmm. I think that can be true. I think that there's also an overarching system called patriarchy that has to be addressed in order to address this conversation. It really does. When we look at overall earnings, men still out-earn women.
Listen. Mm-hmm. I don't want this podcast to waste time like saying things that people say and then me respond with like what people say to those kind of things.
Okay.
So like when you say, men make more than women, I don't want to come right back with men work harder jobs or work jobs that
I don't
pay
think
more.
that's not where I'm going in this. Where I'm going is there's a financial structure that hurts both man and woman. Like patriarchy hurts both man and woman because we cannot have a very deep and true relationship because of the power imbalance. I don't think it's good for either party.
Okay, so tell me more about the power imbalance, because in the last podcast, you said education goes as women go, because, you alluded to women being more educated and thus making men more educated. You didn't say that?
I know what you're speaking of, but I want to wait until you're done
No.
that I don't cut you off.
Clarify what you said so
Okay.
that I can make sure what I say is appropriate.
What I said was there have been studies done where if you educate the women of a community, a city, a place, that generationally everyone will become educated.
Okay. For how many years now have women been more educated than men? Because that is the case.
In certain categories, yes. So like for Latinas and for women of color, certain women of color groups, yes, but it's not all groups.
Okay.
And generationally, every generation, we are becoming more educated as groups go, categories.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't think that's okay either, because there's reasons that that's happening that are systematic that aren't okay. Like these systems don't help either group. And I think that's where I was going. Not the typical like that's why women should get more, men should get more. No, I think that both parties should be getting a living wage. That actually goes into the child support thing that I put on here.
Okay. Where are we at with child support? I've never paid it. Child support wars, control, currency, and clout. Celebrities like Future and Tyrese use public platforms to frame themselves as victims of child support rulings.
You're going to put these together if you're going to make voiceovers for every one of them.
Social implications. Men with access to wealth weaponize sympathy while mothers are erased from the conversation.
There's all kinds of ways we can go with that.
Yeah.
But I think that speaks to the issue of the power dynamic when it's off, how toxic it is.
Sure. It's also toxic that it seems to be that the common thing in both cases is that like the answer for women is money.
Well, we've seen it too with like Sherry Shepherd and her husband. Remember when they separated, she was the breadwinner? And now we're seeing it with Cardi B and Offset, where now Offset is asking for child support.
Yeah, and people are looking at it. There's a whole conversation about whether men should do that and if he's a piece of shit and does he need it.
But the
and all
whole
this other
issue
shit.
ends up being that there's wage differences that cause these issues. We see that on a big level, but let's talk about it like on what normal people are going to deal with.
Okay.
And so what like a normal person is going to deal with is going to look a lot different from these types of child support wars.
Okay, but these are the examples you gave.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about rich people or you want to talk...
We can maneuver.
Okay.
We can go into the fact that because you were just talking about how with dating, when financial situations change, then so do the women go, right?
Sure.
And that women look for this financial provider in many different ways.
Yeah.
But because there's these unequal systems, including child support, there are all these bias systems that are in place that make it so that these dynamics keep perpetuating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's the whole systematic issue, it's not man and woman. It's we've been pitted against each other. Don't you think men and women have been pitted against each other?
In some cases, yeah. I mean, historically, there's lots of examples of how the government has purposely tried to manipulate black and brown
men and women. Sorry.
I think women.
Oh.
I think the system has been very strategic about targeting black and brown women into questioning or replacing the need for a man in the house.
Agreed.
And they will either subsidize with like welfare or welfare services until there's a man in the house, or they will pit you against the man in terms of like child support and things like that.
I'm not sure I follow on. I agree, and I don't agree on maybe those on your examples, but I agree that there has been a purposeful way to rip apart black and brown households.
Okay. Speak to my examples.
I think with welfare, yes, that is a good example. They do purposely have legislation that would exclude the man, and they want a man outside the house. So there's no, and even housing legislation does that as well. All kinds of stuff. But with the child support example, not so much. But the other ones I do.
Okay, let's talk about the child support example.
I would have to hear more about your argument.
Okay, so I am sure that there are, I don't want to call them couples because they're not together, but there are co-parents that could have more amicable situations, agreements, structures if the woman didn't feel that there was an advantage or a level of control that they get by taking the situation to court. I personally know men who would be far more active financially in their child's lives, and in some cases are able to be anyway. But because of the stipulations put on by the court or because of the amount granted, all right, I'm just going to give you that. And when he comes over here, he or she will live a totally separate life financially and, financially, and as far as the child is concerned, room, clothing, accommodations, totally different. And when they go back to your mama house, you leave this here and you go back to what she has negotiated through the courts. And you get your $400 a month or whatever you get a month, and you deal with that how you do. Now, there are men who can afford to overlook the shenanigans of their baby mama. And I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna put this on top, and you live here, but I feel like since my child lives here, I have a responsibility to do that too. There are perfect or better examples, but I think a lot of times women think that they are pulling some kind of card when they get the government or when they get the courts involved, and a lot of times that either triggers some kind of resentment in the man, and no one suffers but the kids.
I hear you. I hear that those are some scenarios that play out in the world. I think overarching though, the laws exist because men probably didn't want to pay, and there were a lot of men abandoning their families, and it probably didn't even start off as men of color. So let's just start there. All the laws were made based on, not with us in mind at first.
Okay.
So if we just start there, we can probably have a better, of why I don't think it's necessarily just a ploy for families to be broken up for this specific law, because I think the law started because men were abandoning their families at such high rates, and there were no laws on the books for women for a very long time to have child support or any kind of support, even when women were divorced. And so that's why child support came into play.
Men of all colors just had multiple families for a long time. It's just like, I got a family over here, I got a family over there. I work at the factory, I can take care of both of them. It's probably like after the war. I don't know.
It's Googling.
You say what?
It's Googling.
Oh, okay. All right, from the blue phone.
1975. So it's a pretty recent law.
Okay, and does it say why or what it stemmed from?
So as the government started to decrease welfare and started to decrease other systematic support for women, they decided that men should be the people who caretake for these children, essentially.
Okay.
So, like I said, systems. Like if we would just as a country say that we care for children, which countries do, men wouldn't have to pay child support. There's not a lot of child support in a lot of countries, in developed European countries. I want to say Amsterdam and Switzerland.
So what happens? You just get a check for your kid?
Yeah.
Huh. Mothers. In this case, like a single mother would just
both parents, so that both parents can take care of their children based on their income.
We're talking about single parents?
Yeah, all humans who have children from other countries get checks. Well, developed countries that have established systems like this.
They just get money to take care of their kids.
Yes, I swear.
Interesting.
And they eliminate the concept of child support then. Because nobody needs it, because everyone's taken care of at a basic level.
Okay. So it's like a universal income for kids. Got it. I mean, sure, that would be great.
But our government in 1975 decided we didn't need it.
Up until then, they was getting it?
There was a higher payout on certain welfare, but they still had to lie, I believe, and say that there was no man in the home. So that's why I agreed on that list.
That's what Claudine is about.
But that's why I agreed on that.
You ever seen Claudine?
No, I haven't. I don't watch a lot of it. Movies or TV.
With black people?
Generally speaking.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
What?
I don't. So yeah, that's why I agreed on the legislation. It is to break up families, unfortunately.
Child support too, man.
No, we just
child support,
broke that down, Jared.
I know you're right, but I don't know. I'm in a very privileged position as far as like knowing guys with kids. Like, I don't really know no like problematic child support situations. I mean, I do, but like not my friends.
Yeah, I don't know many either.
Yeah, like all my friends, unfortunately, are doing whatever they need to stay in their kids' lives, including following their baby mamas to like multiple cities, just kind of unwarranted.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Unwarranted. You're funny.
It is a lot. I know a nigga drive 10 hours both ways to see his kid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Shout out to dads that do that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't talk enough about that.
We don't.
There are great dads in the world.
There are. Shouts out to them.
There really are. So, I've been thinking about people who don't leave the United States. Have you ever thought about that?
What?
Just the mindset of people who never step foot out of the United States?
Yep. I feel like I just said that travel shouldn't be a privilege.
It shouldn't be a privilege. People need to see the world.
Yep.
Would that be a pilgrimage then if it's not a privilege?
It wouldn't be a pilgrimage. I think pilgrimage has like a specific like religious connotation to it.
What if like, forget it. We don't need to go there.
Yeah. I think there should be like cultural exchange programs.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever do pen paling when you were in school?
No.
We had a pen pal program.
No, I was a
fun.
student ambassador though.
What is that? What is a student ambassador?
So I went through this program where like we what?
I don't know.
What's the problem?
Because of the way you're saying it.
It's just an extremely
It's like we're tiptoeing into the story.
situation.
Okay, come on, student ambassador.
Yeah, I was a student ambassador. I went through this like year program that culminated in a trip to like France, Spain, and Italy.
That's so cool.
It is, yeah.
How old were you?
This was the summer before I came to Jones.
That explains so much.
What does it? You didn't even meet me till sophomore year.
I knew you were a world traveler.
Well, before that, my parents used to have a timeshare in Cancun, so we used to go to Mexico every year for like 7 days.
You were so fancy. I was so poor.
I wasn't fancy.
That is the fanciest thing I've ever heard.
I don't know what you want me to say. My dad had a settlement for like some medical stuff, and we got some bread.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
I mean, he
happened?
lost his sight, but he lost his sight in one eye. But yeah. But they paid him out, and then we moved to Beverly, and then we went to private school, and then stuff, you know. And then we were also like gifted children, so like
There was that.
it was where like opportunity meets whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I was so poor.
That's also probably why I'm unbearable now.
I don't think you're unbearable.
We don't deal with each other on
Enough,
a
right?
serious level.
If I talk to you on a daily basis, you might be unbearable.
On a daily basis, no. It would just maybe. I don't know. E doesn't find me unbearable. I'm like, we have like very like pointed conversations, and then it's over.
I think some people would say I have a difficult personality.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be unbearable.
I know
guess.
2 people for sure.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I'm talking about your 2 ex-husbands.
Anyway, even beyond that, I think people would say that I'm a very particular person.
Yeah, me too.
So
I think people meet me and know right away if they're gonna like me or not.
you have a polarizing personality.
Sure. And you know what? I like it that way.
I don't know how people feel about my personality.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have that issue of people like masking their intentions because they may want to like fuck me or something.
That was a moment there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why? I could never imagine what it's like to be
a woman.
A woman that's like above a 6.5.
I knew. I was like, how low is this man gonna go? How low is Jared gonna go right now?
I'm just trying to say for like across the board, like what every man would. I'm trying to give you like an every man score, like not like a man who likes Latinos or like a guy that likes this. I'm just trying to give you like an every man score.
I just had to see how low you were gonna go.
I mean, come on, you're not ridiculous, but
Thanks for the 6. Strong 6.
I said 6.5.
6.5.
And I said I was
Thanks.
I stuttered to say 7.
Sure did. You sure? I was like, let's see how. That's why I wanted to see how low you were gonna go, but.
There we go.
I wouldn't expect anything higher than a 6.5 from you. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, friend.
Boom. Yeah. I got you getting your nails done now. You know what
You
I'm saying?
did. That was you. Hence why I said you're. Wow.
Gotta adjust that bait, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how people
trust
feel
that
about me
bait.
just by meeting me. I'm pretty quiet when people first meet me. So I don't know how they feel.
When's your birthday? What we say? You're a Leo?
February 27th.
No.
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. Yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Nothing. I don't know a lot of Pisces. It's just you and he who shall not be named on this podcast right now.
I know who that is. Hey, but I can't believe you traveled so much before you even.
Yeah, and then
We should go
like
to Amsterdam together.
that was like a month because we did like a week in each one. It was like a week in France, a week in Spain, a week in Italy.
Can we do where we travel to different places together? That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I think we should work out together.
Let's work out together. I love working out.
I think we should. You want to go shopping?
We should. You should, because we know you're not gonna ever like what I wear.
What's wrong? Listen, I like the little. I'm not. I think it's fine.
You hate this. Is
I think it's fine. I didn't even say anything. I think it's fine.
I know you're not. Terrible friend.
I don't know what again. I don't know what it's like to be a girl and say like, okay, like let's say I'm a girl and I have an okay face, but I've got big titties. And like I'm not fat, I have a nice body, but I have big titties.
Okay.
I can tailor my whole wardrobe towards accentuating these big titties.
Okay.
Or like if you have like a nice ass or like legs and you're like, okay, so like I'm gonna wear like shorts, I'm gonna wear pants to show my figure. Like as men, like you can't be like, yeah, okay, so like I got a nice beard. I'll wear outfits around my beard, or like I got like
us going shopping would be the most comical thing I think that anybody has ever seen.
Maybe. I think it'd be interesting to what we should do is we should go and we should pick outfits for each other. Mm-hmm. Because that will let me know the type of niggas you be looking at. Because you're gonna dress me like that's what women do. They dress dudes.
They do.
Like the guys they want to be like, or they want to like talk to them. Which is why I don't tell women what kind of cologne I wear or where I shop for clothes, because I don't want them to go trying to make a me.
No.
Yeah.
I don't tell them what perfume I wear ever.
What do you?
Ever. Nobody.
Woo.
What? Why? You are just one kind of man.
Travel.
We should go to Amsterdam.
What do you mean I'm one type of man?
One kind of man.
What does that mean?
Just like there's only one of you, Jared.
That's a fact.
Jeez, you're always thinking the worst. Do you think that in relationships you can have hall passes? And like, how close to reality can the hall pass be? Like, what if mine is Bad Bunny? We all know I'm not meeting Bad Bunny anytime soon.
Yeah, but that's the difference between men and women, because a man's hall pass would be the girl down the street, your yoga teacher, our kids' teacher. Like, it would be.
Really?
It wouldn't be somebody. No, that's why hall passes are different. Because a man doesn't want a hall pass.
I don't agree with the hall pass then ever.
Oh, okay.
Then there just shouldn't be any.
You think it should only be famous people?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the whole point of it, is that it's fun.
Is it? That's not what the movie is about. Did you see the movie Hall Pass?
Nope. That's not what this topic was about. It was just about the concept.
Okay, but I think we have a misunderstanding. Popular TikTok reflects shifting views on fidelity, but also a fear of stagnation. Beneath the surface is often loneliness, ego, and emotional outsourcing. Are open relationships a sign of evolution or emotional avoidance dressed as empowerment? I don't know. I think there are some situations where like people want to like respectfully fuck other people. Like swingers.
Yeah, I think that's possible as long as
type
it's
of stuff.
consensual.
People have like arrangements.
Yeah, as long as it's consensual, all that's fine.
Yeah.
The whole point is that they're consenting adults.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of different makeups of relationship that can be perfectly okay.
Yeah. I mean, a hall pass, I mean, I guess if you have permission from your partner, sure.
Ooh. Do you think you could do it personally in a relationship? I don't think I'd want to do that.
I don't know.
If I was in a monogamous relationship, I don't think I would want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm okay with that.
There's a I guess it's not like a hard no. I'd have to know like what the situation was. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I don't know. Maybe.
Posible.
Maybe. Yeah.
No. Did you see that Ashanti and Nelly are going to have a reality show?
No, but
I think I would watch that.
Good for them.
I think I would watch that.
Okay.
Do you think reality shows break up relationships?
Again, I think it depends on the relationship. I think if both people, I think first off, if both people are doing it for like the right reason, like not to like save a relationship or like not just to get paid, I think Nelly and Ashanti might be a rare situation where like they have a natural fun chemistry. They have fun people around them, and it may be compelling to get an inside view of their, relationship or their dynamic.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well. Are they having a second baby now?
I don't know, but I know that the press that she has gotten from being with Nelly again and having this family has been the best press since she was with Murder Inc.
You're right.
It's great. It's so great that she can have a second career as a mother / Nelly's woman.
Nelly as well. Hasn't he been having some great press off of this?
Yes, but Nelly...
I think it's been like a good linking.
Yes, but Nelly is a certified rap legend. So like he can snap his fingers and do a show and pop. Like he's always gonna have a certain level of cachet. Ashanti, not so much.
I agree, and I think that she is still her career is pretty established in her own right as a songwriter, correct?
No.
Ashanti,
I don't know no songs Ashanti has written. Irv Gotti wrote all her music. Really.
Interesting.
Yeah. Some might say Ashanti is like one of the biggest industry finesses of all time.
I guess.
Yeah, because, she's not on anybody's list as like a top singer.
Can we see if she has written songs?
Okay.
Let's see. Because now I feel like I thought she was a songwriter. Wait, what songs has Ashanti written?
I guess. She's probably going to come up as like a co-writer on her big songs, but it's kind of been known in the industry that Irv Gotti and Ja Rule were like the writers in those rooms.
Okay, so what songs has she written alone? Rock With You? Only You. She co-wrote Foolish, Happy. Happy she wrote herself. Interesting. And she co-wrote all the other ones. Yeah,
and not being a dick, I feel like that was like Irv Gotti and them kind of just wanting to put her name on stuff. There's never been conversation of Ashanti as a writer, like say Solange or Mary J. Blige has writers.
A lot of people do have writers when they get bigger though, right?
That's kind of how they get big. Yeah.
Diversifying their creativity too.
But yeah, Ashanti, this is probably like the second biggest thing she's done in her career outside of the stuff that she did with Murder Inc.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So it's great. It's great.
So then where'd she make all her money from? Being put on the co-writing?
Again, I don't know how much money
she
has. Because that was part of the back and forth between her and Irv Gotti before Irv Gotti died. she was trying to get the rights to her music so that she could re-record it, and then like get paid off of the re-recordings, like kind of like Taylor Swift did.
Yeah.
But Irv Gotti was like, no, I wrote those songs, and then like you don't even like play nice with us. Like when we have Murder Inc. stuff, or when like Ja's performing, or like that kind of thing, you kind of almost like distance yourself from us.
Why wasn't she playing nice? Was there a reason?
Well, so
I feel like it came out that there was a reason.
So her and Irv Gotti were fucking while she was like on her rise. Irv Gotti also was married, so it was kind of like
that'll be a reason.
Yeah, so like they was like fucking and doing ecstasy. All types of shit. And then I think either Irv's wife found out and like threatened to divorce or something, so then he like had to like clean it up.
Okay.
And I think
so it was a mess. It was messy, and she distanced herself from it.
And then I think that coincided with like her career not doing as good.
Okay.
And then if we keeping it 100, she's not really. It could be questioned if she's talented enough to do it on her own or with other people, and she hasn't really done anything else.
Got it. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well.
More powerful men patriarchy, I guess. But the thing with both of them is
you
like
think so?
both
They
of them,
seem to be enjoying this.
Who?
Nelly and Ashanti.
Oh no, I'm talking about Ashanti and Irv Gotti.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, but even so, she's living a good life right now.
Yeah. I mean, Cassie is too.
Is she?
Yeah, she just had another child with her husband.
Oh, I hope she's living a good life.
She's got $20 million from Diddy.
Yeah.
And still got to like trash his name in court. Like,
I don't think that's a privilege. She probably didn't want all this to come out. I don't think she wanted all of her secrets to be leaked.
That may be true. She may not have wanted all of her secrets to be leaked. For sure.
Yeah.
She's definitely happy about that 20 million though.
I think anybody would be happy about 20 million. Wouldn't you? I'd be so happy with 20 million.
I think that if I was the victim of a hate crime and got killed, and then in the aftermath of that, my family got awarded some kind of settlement, I think they would take the money. I don't think they'd be happy about it. I think they'd take me back instead.
Oh, you're saying like you think that she is like, this has made her life happier?
I could be wrong.
I don't think so. I think that I don't think
you don't
I think
so
she
what?
would have traded in the entire experience if she could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just err on the side of
you do that.
Yeah.
You do that. I think that if I lived a life for let's say 10 years and let's go 50-50. Half of it I was really into and I participated in, and I was digging it. And then the last 5 years, I hated it. And I was forced to do some shit, and I did some shit that made me question, some of my morals. If I knew that 10 years later I'd get $20 million for it, I don't know.
I'm gonna err on the side of I'm pretty sure she wished that she wasn't abused and none of that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that it's just unfortunate that it happened to her.
I think it's unfortunate too.
She was so young too.
Yep. I'm happy that there is a price to make her feel better.
And she probably could have been afforded more, given what she went through.
Hey man, give her 50 million, I guess. But then don't be surprised when other people just start accusing people for money. Like now you have to sift through that whole thing.
Oh yeah, that does become messy. Ananda Lewis.
What about her?
She passed away.
Didn't we talk about this in the last podcast?
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
Okay, if we did, then I apologize.
Walked away from the industry. Her story contrasts sharply with today's influencer culture. Privacy was her protest. Choosing obscurity over virality.
And she chose not to. She chose not to get checked for cancer either.
Yeah, and then once she was checked, she chose to like keep her tumors and didn't want to get a double mastectomy.
That was a lot.
And do like holistic healing.
Yeah.
If you as a mother, even now that like your kids are grown and you have like a whole village and stuff, if you had an ailment that could possibly be cured through surgery or traditional medicine, but like you personally may have some personal quibbles with medicine and want to go like a more like holistic route, do you think there's a responsibility as a mom to kind of take the best option, or do you feel like you still have like a level of like responsibility to yourself to stick to your principles?
Uphold your principles? I think that personally I would throw all my principles out and do what I could do to stay and be here for my children. But I do think that there would be a certain point in which maybe if the struggle was so bad or the interventions were just so hard on my body and I wasn't winning the fight, that I would have to know when to throw in the towel as well.
Okay.
Because it's also unfair for my kids to see suffering in that way as their memory of me. And so I think I would really, like, that would be pretty difficult, and it would be a difficult situation, and everybody walks through it the best way they can. But definitely I believe in preventative medicine, like preventative, like making sure to get mammograms and making sure to get, for men, what is it?
The finger up the pooper?
Yep. Colonoscopies?
I don't think it's colonoscopy. I think it's a what's the thing that they say you come in your makes you come in your ass? Prostate exam.
Prostate exam.
Boom.
I don't even know what.
That's how I remember it. Sorry, I thought you would know that.
Oh no, not off the top of my head. I'm sorry, Jared.
Got it.
So I do think all of that is important as well, and eating correctly and working out, like we talked about when it came to last time.
We don't want to talk. Let's not talk about eating correctly.
We could talk about eating correctly.
No.
I ate terribly yesterday.
Some people don't need to eat correctly. Some people should just eat what they want.
Oh, I stand on what I said.
I know.
We shouldn't be targeting people.
That's how it's. You keep calling it that, and I'm starting to take it as like an affront to my intelligence that you keep calling it targeting poverty. But I don't want to get into this.
Okay.
R. Kelly. Woo. Happy people. Kelly was convicted of sex trafficking and child exploitation, but still maintains a controversial fan base. Wow. Why we gotta be controversial? He was stabbed in prison in 2024, reigniting debates about justice, redemption, and institutional failure. His Pied Piper nickname and ongoing music streams highlight how cultural myths delay accountability. Can we really separate the art from the artist, or are we just choosing comfort over truth?
Can we? I think certain groups do.
I think if everybody that was problematic wasn't on the radio, there wouldn't be no music.
There wouldn't be any art.
I think on some ways we champion or we like glorify art coming from a bad place as long as it's like not too bad.
Right.
Or like a comfortable bad.
The bad that we accept at that time.
I guess, yeah.
Because there have been who is that one producer who just is like possibly with his stepchild? Alan?
Are you Woody Allen?
Woody Allen.
Yeah. There's no possibly.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah, but he's quiet. He's also, you know, I don't want to say it, but he's
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it, but he is white. He is.
There's that other guy who fled the country.
Who?
Roman
Polanski.
Polanski?
Yeah, I mean he got a standing ovation at the Oscars last time his name was mentioned.
I'm just saying that when we have the conversation, we have to have a comprehensive conversation.
Tell them that. I don't know. I don't know why is Jerry Seinfeld not on the same level as R. Kelly.
That's true.
He was pulling up to high schools, picking up bitches too.
Chicago lore. That should be part of what you.
That's
hear.
not Chicago lore.
No. I'm saying for R. Kelly, we know the.
Yeah. I want to know the people who knew when Jerry Seinfeld was pulling up to the high school to pick up his wife. Is it different because he married her?
I don't know why. I don't think it's different.
Oh, okay.
I brought it up because I don't think these things are that different, and that we've made lines and we drew lines in certain places.
I don't know.
And the family of R. Kelly has actually begged for people to listen to the music because they get a certain, and the survivors get a certain amount of the proceeds.
Yeah, sure.
So there's a lot of
that too.
Different things happening here.
Yeah, my mom thinks R. Kelly should be in like a mental institution or like receiving like that kind of something.
He probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
should be in a padded booth.
That's a lot. Oh, padded. Say, wait, go finish.
So that we could just record.
I knew that's where this was going.
Yeah, he should just be in a padded booth. So when he wake up in the morning and go, love you, just record that shit right away. He probably dig it for us. He probably wouldn't be so miserable.
I think he should be able to engage in art for rehabilitation.
Yeah.
That sounds so terrible, I think.
I don't think so.
Is it?
If you're gonna, what is putting people in jail doing?
Oh, I don't think
like,
that's
especially
helpful.
for somebody that we think probably has some kind of like mental,
you're right,
like developmental issues.
And not to say that, not to bring up his history, but he has a history of abuse as well.
He has a history of abuse.
Extensive. PTSD is serious. We have so many people just walking around in pain.
Yeah.
People in pain do very terrible
things. I saw Antoine Fisher.
I did see that movie.
With Jeremy's twin in it.
That's Jeremy's twin?
Bro, Jeremy looks just like Derek Luke.
I have to watch this again.
Watch it again.
I had to watch it not too long ago.
Who is the little boy who walked down the road? I am the little boy. Just shut up. That shit was crazy. It was a terrible movie.
Terrible?
Not good.
You don't think it was a good movie?
Antoine Fisher?
So sad.
No.
You think that looks like Jeremy?
Yeah. What are you?
Pull
what
up a picture of Jeremy.
What picture? That looks just like Jeremy.
Pull up a picture of
My phone is recording the podcast. No. The fact, listen, Jeremy looks like Derek Luke.
Okay,
it's like it's across the board. It's certified.
I believe you. I don't need a picture. You're right.
Boom. I wouldn't lie.
Okay.
Okay. What else we got? Who gets believed? Women and cultural credibility. From Cassie to Amber Heard to Britney Spears, women's pain is often minimized or mocked.
Yeah, we already went over it.
I didn't think we did, but okay.
We could talk more about it.
I don't want to know, because this is gonna seem like more times I'm like trashing women or something, and I love women.
Women are wonderful.
Yep. They sure are. In June. From yeah. What else? Anything else?
I don't think I have anything off the top of my head. I think I've gotten all the things I could possibly speak about.
Okay.
Well, unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
I don't think so. How do you feel when people say, call me if you need me?
I don't know.
Do you think that's a universal phrase, or do you think that can sometimes come off as
It depends on who says it, when they say it, all that stuff.
Okay.
So if it's your friend, like if I'm saying that, call me if you need me, I mean it in a way that's like about this or about.
Sure.
Like you really need me as a friend.
But what about like your
really
real
need me
friends?
as a friend?
Like what about your real friends? Like Jenny or Lisette or like the ones you really fuck with. Not like me, who you like keep on tack to say straight black men. Like
rewind. You can't say that about me.
Come on. Let's not get into it
No, you're my real
Let's
friend.
not do it in front of them. Come on. But
stop it. No, stop.
Okay.
You're my real friend.
So yesterday,
you were at my baby shower. He was at my baby shower.
Did I bring a good gift?
Yes, and I'm not saying what else you brought to the baby shower.
So, yesterday was my dad's birthday.
Okay, yes, I saw.
It would have been his 70th birthday.
It looked like you were with your siblings?
My mom and my sister. Now, some people called. Hey, how you doing? Tough day. You all right? Yeah, nigga, I'm fine. Get the fuck off my phone. You know what I'm saying? And then some people texted. There were some people that I thought should have called. Do I have the authority to feel that way?
Yes, and you should communicate it to them directly. It's your duty to communicate that you need more from their friendship.
What if they said, call me if you need me?
Then you should call them when you need them, whenever. Because it's also, so how you feel on that day, we as in the world, cannot infer.
That's true.
And so some people just want to be left alone. It looks like you are with your family celebrating, so
Right.
not interrupt.
Right.
Also, sometimes rubbing the grief in, like by constantly reminding, might be too much.
Okay.
And if you do need more from relationships, then communicate that.
Okay. Your son
Yes.
tore his meniscus.
Yes.
If I heard that, I would send you a text. Hey, is Mito good? God forbid, if I heard that like something happened, you know what I'm saying? Like something like catastrophic, I would possibly call.
Okay. Are you trying to say that you need more from our relationship?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is plenty.
Okay.
This is more than enough.
Just want to make sure.
I'm saying, do you believe that there are certain events that are more text worthy or more call worthy?
No, because I would, so this is my perspective because I have a lot of kids. So if I'm going through something, text me because I don't want to talk to you. I already have children talking to me.
Okay.
Or I'm talking to a child, walking them through a life event.
Okay.
Or I'm working or doing something, just text me.
Okay.
So I think it depends on the person. And honestly, I don't need much from anybody, so I wouldn't be in that category. But if somebody were to need more, then they would need to personally tell me. I can give an example. Would you like an example of that?
Sure, go for it.
So my friends, I'm not very interactive on social media. And sometimes it was to the point of neglect. Like I would not see a lot of my friends post or things like that.
Okay.
And they brought it up to me. And I thanked them and I'm like, hey, if you ever need, please show me when you interact so I can go on and be purposeful about liking your stuff and interacting and supporting whatever they have going on. So that's an example of sometimes it's just not on people's purview and you have to communicate it.
Do you think that there is a level of not caring because you have to make yourself go on social media? Let me explain. Since my dad died, I now have more of a appreciation for keeping track of my friends' parents' deaths and birthdays. Is it wrong that I put them in my calendar to remember?
No, that's just your level of conscientiousness.
Okay.
And that's also like your personal life purview, because there's people who don't have any parents, for instance.
Okay.
And then they're not keeping track of any of that, and they live their life without that.
Huh. Okay.
But I think the important part is just...
I also don't want to come off like Zach Morris. Remember when Zach Morris was dating a girl in a wheelchair, and he would walk in the rooms and be like, "She's in a wheelchair. Please make room." I don't want to be like that either. Like, today is the day your father died.
Did you know that there was a whole commentary on that?
No.
Because of how ridiculous that was?
I guess. I mean, growing up with a disabled father, I definitely walked in places. "Excuse us, he's disabled. He needs the disabled seat with the disabled advantages right away." But that's because it's hard to navigate a grown ass man. Like,
agreed.
And nigga, bring that up. Bring me. You got a wheelchair or something? Bring that out here.
Agreed.
Take me through the side door, up the ramp to the front.
I agree. It's very difficult to navigate the world with a disability.
Yeah.
But I think that if I think you should just tell people that you would like that from them. I think you'd be surprised that people really want to be good friends and good people in your life.
Okay, yes. But like, I wish I could find that Joe Budden clip. Because he played somebody on there talking about how it's like expecting people to like be so open with their sadness is kind of weird. Like to
I agree.
To like
put it on display?
Or not to put it on display, but I don't know, like, call me if you need me, or those kind of like, hey, if you want to talk, like, I'm here. Like, those kind of just seem like the things that you're supposed to say. And I don't know how many people, I can't find what I'm doing.
So yes, I understand what you're saying. My friends would be the ones who reach out just because they hear that I'm going through something.
Right, but then you also, maybe this is a man thing, but you also hear about niggas just pulling up on niggas.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop by this nigga house real quick. I know today is whatever. I know, like, me and my friends have done that before. But, like, I don't know.
My friends wouldn't do that, though. My friends would ask if we needed space, just because we very much process things very alone.
Okay.
And we're not into that.
I read Mi Vida Loca. I know that.
What does that mean?
It means I know what's up.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean?
It means I know what's up.
No.
I got you. It's blood in, blood out.
No, we just don't need that much. But I guess that's my own journey, is learning how to have more people when I'm in times of need. Wow. I tend to just isolate.
Got it.
And having someone around while I'm ugly crying isn't necessarily what I want.
That's true, because I've run into those like emotion mongers, and it's like they only want to be around if you're crying. And they're like all in your face and shit, and like, ugh, man, get the fuck out of my face, man. No,
but we do have a group text though, where I have said like, hey, I'm going through a really hard time right now.
I'm not in a group text right now because I'm not talking to he who shall not be named. And that was the group text.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay. It was only like 3 of us. It wasn't like a whole big group text.
Now I'm gonna check in on you more. I just have news for you. You're about to get like all kinds of nice things from me.
Don't do that.
You ready for this friendship? We'll take it to the next friendships. Why?
We can't. I mean, people are already like...
This is why...
It's just weird to see you so like open with someone. It's like, because I don't give a fuck about what she thinks. It's like, do you think me and you would have conversations like that? It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
What is going on in your side of the world?
I'm just telling you. I mean, I'm just telling you. This is what happens when you do a podcast with a 6.5.
I'm not a 6.5. Can I be higher?
It's like, so how do you know her?
I feel like you knocked me down 1 Jared point, so I'm gonna put myself to 7.5. Okay.
I mean, you probably have more experience with people who are into your thing.
I'm gonna put myself to no. I think in my delusion, I'm a 10. So
you should think you're a 10.
So
that's a total. That is on brand with women. Ridiculous.
I'm really tired of you making it seem like we are not friends.
We are friends.
So now I'm going to pick this friendship level.
We are friends. I'm just saying there's levels to friendships.
I'm going to be a Care Bear in your life.
I'm friends with Murphy Lee from the Saint Lunatics.
Are you?
No. But like he responded to some stuff on my Instagram page a couple times. Like that's a level of friendship.
That is a level of friendship.
We have a level of friendship.
It's about to go up. You ready? BFF.
This has been the Jay and Dre podcast. We hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment. Send a kite for my niggas up north. Do you have anything?
I'm a strong 6.5.
Strong. Strong 6.5. Again, some people would probably give
No, we
you
can just end there.
higher.
We can just end there. We can just end right there.
All right.